and I can genuinely tell as a player that he plays through us. I'll bet any amount of money that if he had the opportunity to come out every Saturday and play with us, he would do it in a heartbeat. And I love that. I say it for all the coaches, Coach Rocker, everybody. That I have fun playing here. I come into practice every day knowing I love it because they love it, and I know they're just as invested as I am, and that means a lot to me.
I know the perception is he's like Saban, where he's always with the DBs. Does he spend a fair amount of time with all the position groups on defense, including you guys?
He spends a great amount of time with every position group. He's very meticulous, very surgical in the defense. He wants everything to be precise. He's invested in making sure everybody knows their technique right. He knows all the techniques for every position, and I mean every position. So he knows what he wants. He knows what he's talking about. Very descriptive, and very informative in terms of every position and what he's looking for.
Give us your thoughts on Coach Rocker and Coach Scher.
Both of them very intense. Same thing with Coach Pruitt. Very meticulous, very surgical. They know what they want, and the thing is, they know what you can put out as an athlete, and they know what we can put out as players. And when you show them that, that's I love it because they push you because that's what they expect from you every time. If you make one day, if you make 2 sacks off a play, they expect you the next day to never go back down to 1 sack. That they expect once you reach one platform, they expect you to raise the bar continuously every time you play. And I love that. That's what you look for in a coach in practice. Somebody who's pushing you to continue to raise that bar.
How does the 3-4 defense fit Paul Bain?
3-4 defense, 4-3 defense, don't matter. We all doing the same thing. We're all going hard. We're all playing hard. And our technique is going to be sound no matter what we play.
What like you on the defensive line are a little older, those upperclassmen type level. Do you feel kind of a need to be leaders on this defense and leaders on this team?
Definitely. I feel like we need to be leaders because for the young people, for the young players coming in, everybody coming in, they're still trying to find their own groove and find their own rhythm in the team and just trying to figure out where everybody fits. So I think especially when you're coming into a time like this, it can be very shaky and very nerve-wracking for a young athlete, young player. So I think it's very essential for older leaders like myself to kind of talk to them, nurture them in, and ease them into the game and the process because it's a lot of change. It's a lot of change coming from high school to here, and now you're not talking about playing with 15 through 18-year-olds. You're talking about playing with 18 to 23-year-olds, grown men. I'm telling you, so it's a lot of change, a lot of responsibility for a young athlete to come into. So I think it's very essential for us older athletes to kind of nurture them in and make sure they understand and make sure their head's cool and everything about that.
Well, the other day, Coach Rump was saying, listen, if I'm teaching you guys just about how to tackle, then I'm not doing my job. How does that make, talking about wanting to teach you guys about being young men and about life, talk about how that makes you feel as a player.
It makes me feel great as a player, great as a person. And I can say this right now, I've got just as many football lessons I've gotten twice as many life lessons from each of these coaches. They don't want us to be, they look at us more than just football players. They look at us as young men who they want to grow and become great men, great husbands, great fathers, and they're giving us life lessons every time. They want to make sure how we doing okay. Every meeting starts off with Coach Rocker asking all of us, how are we doing today, men? How are we doing today? You have any problems in school? Anything? How's your day going? And then after we get all that personal stuff aside and he figures out where we're at mentally, that's when we want to crack down to the football stuff. I think they're more focused on who we are as a people, who we are as a person and growing as a man in society than we are as focusing on a football player. So I appreciate that a lot.
Thanks, Paul.